Hi there, welcome to Beyond Adaptation Fitness. My name is CJ. I am an NSCA certified strength and conditioning specialist, and this is a breakdown of a 60-minute kettlebell and calisthenics strength and conditioning workout. I will start with a dynamic warm-up, proceed to a spinal mobility sequence coupled with some high-skill body weight movements, and finish with a straightforward hypertrophy superset. So let it be known now that there will be no high-intensity kettlebell swings, cleans, or snatches in this workout. I will save that for another day. This is suitable for all levels of fitness, but use your best judgment about what is appropriate for you. This workout requires minimal equipment, only a pair of kettlebells. If you have some open space though, that would be helpful. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Let's get into it. The first part is a dynamic warm-up and mobility sequence that will take 15 to 20 minutes to complete. This is intended to prime the body for higher intensity movements to come, but also address any dysfunctional movement patterns and muscle imbalances. If you have higher intensity days during the week like I do, this is a great way to address muscle stiffness and soreness as you recover. I am starting with some line drill type of movements, but I'm just doing them standing in place. I won't be repeating this sequence, just complete it one time and move on to the next section, starting with 100 jumping jacks. As you get warmer, get an extra stretch in the pecs and shoulders by trying to touch your hands behind your back. 20 alternating high kicks to warm up the hamstrings and hip flexors. Reach the opposite hand to the opposite foot. Be mindful not to round the back here. It's fine if your hand doesn't quite make it to touch your foot. Just reach and kick your leg as far as you can with control. 40 butt kicks to warm up the quads, hip flexors, and calves. Every kick counts as one rep, so each leg kicks 20 reps. You can place your hands behind you as a target for your feet, or just aim to contact your feet with your body. Keep the body upright and the knee pointed down as you kick. 40 alternating high knees, or 20 reps per leg. Just like the high kicks, I use my hands as a visual target to challenge myself. Even if I don't actually touch my hands, I feel as though I still get a little more oomph in my kicks. Freestanding sideways leg swings, about 10 per leg. It's definitely easier to do this against the wall to help with balance, but by doing this freestanding, I'm able to challenge my balance and coordination. Spinal twists, 10 to 20 total. Extending the elbows away from you, soft knees. Set your intention to twist from the waist, not from the hips or knees. Exhale through the deepest part of the twist. Thoracic spinal mobility, 3 to 4 rotations in each direction. Hold your hands out like you're holding a barrel. Fold forward, rotate to the side, and then lean back looking up, and rotate to the other side. Keep the axis of rotation above the waist in the thoracic spine area, which is where your rib cage is attached to the spine. A good indication that you're actually mobilizing the T-spine area is if you get a crack in the sternum, although that's definitely not required. Just an added bonus if you like that kind of thing, which I do. Next up, we're going to do 2 to 3 rounds of this power sun salutation circuit. Reaching the hands overhead, exhale folding forward, plant the hands on the ground, walk the hands forward, but instead of stopping at our normal plank, I'm going to continue to walk my hands out as far as I possibly can, and then find my normal plank, stacking the shoulders over the elbows and wrists, and begin 10 slow mountain climbers, knee to elbow style. If you have trouble contacting the knee to the elbow, part of the problem may be that you're not shifting the weight forward as you bring the knee closer to the elbow. So pay a little extra attention to that next time. Push back into down dog, reaching your heels for the ground, and pushing the chest through to stretch out the pecs and shoulders. Push the belly button towards the spine to engage the core. For extra stretch, you can lift up one leg at a time to focus on stretching each side individually. Alternating lunges with a side stretch to laterally flex the spine, stretch the side body, and mobilize the thoracic spine a little more. I am grasping both hands together and gently pull the hand on the side that's getting stretched. Finish the sequence with 5 single leg glute bridges on each leg. Now that we've awakened the muscles and nerves using our own body weight, we can start to increase the intensity by adding some weight and some more technical movements. This next section is a handstand walk practice combined with a series of 3 spinal mobility movements as a form of active rest between bouts of handstand attempts. This may take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how much time you'd like to spend with each of the movements. I recommend completing 3 to 5 rounds with adequate rest periods between rounds. Just listen to your body. This is not meant to get your heart rate up, it's meant to be technical and restorative. Movement 1 is a kettlebell halo. Shoot for 3 to 5 revolutions in each direction, clockwise and counterclockwise. This will address shoulder mobility and stability. It's very important that you feel confident with the weight you are using. So if this is your first time doing this, start with a very light weight until you've dialed in your technique. Holding the kettlebell bell side up, rotate the kettlebell around the head in 2 sweeping motions. The first from front to back, from the goblet squat position to the stretch position of an overhead tricep press, and then around the other side of the head, returning to the goblet position. The kettlebell stays as close to the center of mass as possible, so the kettlebell stays as close to your head as possible as it passes from front to back. To support the weight, the arms stay at about 90-degree angles. Try to keep your head as still as you can. When you first start, you may instinctively move your head out of the way, but fight the urge to do that. Also, keep the back supported throughout the movement, so no arching of the back. Use your exhale to renew your efforts to keep the core engaged. Movement 2 is single-arm crossbody deadlifts, 10 reps on each arm, to activate anti-rotation muscles of the torso. It will be a challenge to stop your knees turning towards the side you are crossing over to, but fight the tendency to twist from the knees so you can get more twist originating from the waist area. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. The placement of the kettlebell on the ground in relation to your body depends on your level of comfort. For less twist, keep the kettlebell closer to the front of your feet, closer to the toes. For more twist, explore placing the kettlebell on the side of the foot. Movement 3 is Jefferson Curls for 5 reps. Keeping the kettlebell as close to your body as you can, strengthen the spine in forward flexion. To begin, tuck your chin to your chest and slowly fold forward. Imagine one vertebra at a time. Exhale all the way down to support the back. Take another breath at the bottom and exhale all the way up, going in reverse, rolling up one vertebra at a time, starting from the lower spine. Keep your chin tucked until you are standing completely straight. Movement 4 is a handstand practice. Give yourself a minute to 90 seconds to get some attempts in. This is the beginning of my handstand journey after taking a long break away from it. One of the difficulties of this practice is finding a suitable surface that can accommodate you. I did some attempts on the grass thinking it would be easier on my hands than the concrete, but it was very uneven, so at this stage of my practice, I just needed something as level as possible. Even though I'm not the best at handstands, I do know how to bail out of these safely, so the risk of falling on the concrete was pretty low. Obviously, don't practice on concrete if you can't guarantee your own safety. Let it be known that failure is 100% part of this process, so patience is absolutely a virtue when it comes to this. I find if I do too many attempts in a row, I can get a headache, which will affect the rest of my workout. So the moral of the story is, you may need to take longer rests than you think you need, which is why this is part of a low-intensity spinal mobility sequence. This will allow you to recover while still keeping the workout moving along. There are many, many ways to do handstand walks. If you look at a gymnast, they make beautiful lines and keep their feet together and legs straight as they do it. I am all for that, and I hope to get there one day. But for now, I'm doing what one might call the CrossFit style, which is not very pretty and can be more results-oriented than process-oriented. I looked at some footage of CrossFit athletes who are very adept at this style of handstand walks, and the best of the best all bend their knees and even kick a little bit as they walk. Part 3 is a superset of a pike push-up on a kettlebell and a B stance Romanian deadlift. I recommend 3 to 5 rounds with 1 minute to 90 seconds of rest between rounds. Give yourself about 15 to 20 minutes to complete this. For the pike push-up, tilt the body forward to shift as much weight as possible to the upper body. The neck stays neutral, so as you descend, you'll be looking at your legs instead of where your head is going. Instead of fixating on pushing up, which can lead you to getting stuck, focus on pushing the ground away from you and moving the chest towards your legs. I did 10 to 12 reps, but choose a rep range that is sustainable for you, in which you can maintain proper technique. The last few reps should be pretty challenging, but not to the point that you are collapsing. B Stance RDLs for 8 to 12 reps, just depending on what feels right for you. Kickstand one leg out behind you for balance, but the majority of your weight is on the forward leg. Lower the kettlebells down to the ground, tracking on either side of the forward leg, and hinge from the hip, keeping the knee angle on the front leg relatively constant. As you rise, think about pushing the ground away from you as opposed to pulling up. Complete the range of motion by squeezing the glutes at the top. This is meant to be slow and controlled. If you start to feel tension in your back, that means you are most likely not engaging the transverse abdominis and need to renew your efforts to brace the core. A good way to do that is to bear down and push the belly button towards the spine. Pay particular attention to your breathing. Inhale on the way down and exhale from the diaphragm on the way up. Also, make sure you properly support the weight with the upper body, including the upper back, by rolling the shoulder blades back and down and keeping the shoulders level. And that's the workout. I hope this can help you along your own fitness journey. Seize the opportunity to lean into discomfort and learn something new about yourself. If we only did exercises we could perform perfectly, we would never be challenged and never change. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will join me again soon. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to Beyond Adaptation Fitness for more minimal equipment strength and conditioning workouts. See you next time.